Hello, everybody, all my dragonettes. Welcome to the Horde. Today, I don't have a physical book on me. I have a audiobook that I was reading or listening to. The book is World War Z by Max Brooks. And yes, I recommend it. Because if you like a good zombie book, this was a good zombie book. It is a very different zombie book. And no, it is not the movie. That is a completely separate thing. And honestly, I think if they make... I actually would like to see a more true to form take adaptation movie of World War Z, but you make it as a documentary because that's how the book is set up. It's a documentary, and I was warned beforehand to make sure to get the longer audio version because like when it first came out, they cut a lot of the chapters from the audiobook. So I did make sure that I got the one that was, let me double check, 12 hours long, 13 hours long, whereas the other one was, of course, as for usual, 5 hours. Wow. They cut off almost more than half the book. Woof. Yeah, so I listened to the 12-hour long book, and damn, hats off to you, Max, because you did a damn good job with your research and everything, because wow. Just wow. I was immersed. It did feel like something that could actually happen with the way it was written. And me reading it after COVID, after 2020, it's almost scary how accurate it ended up being with how modern technology, how the modern world handles a pandemic. Because that's what it is in this world. It is a pandemic. A zombie pandemic, but a pandemic. It's not isolated to a little bunk community or, maybe just the USA. No, it is the world. And I think one of my favorite chapters in the book was near the end when, I get spoilers, I guess. I can't, I have to spoil because it's a Chinese submarine that fled China because the captain and the crew did not want to follow, like they didn't want to risk their lives for what they believed was going to be a losing battle because China was just mishandling everything. And they believed that China was mishandling everything. So they essentially deserted China and they left and spent maybe a year. Timing is a little weird. That one didn't really have a lot of because of the fact that they was in a submarine for an extended period of time. Time kind of doesn't exist. But because they spent so much time underwater, they could see that the oceans were essentially flooded with zombies. And these zombies, because they don't need to breathe, are still moving. They are still wandering. They haven't decomposed to the point where they cannot do that. So their submarine will just be scanning the bottom of the ocean, and there's just numerous countless, and all they see is the horde of zombies. They don't see the seafloor. It is just zombies. At some point, they will bring up their periscope, that they will bring up the ability to see a little, above the water, and there's a zombie just staring at them, because when they, breached the water, there were zombies on their ship, and the zombies came up with them. Or there were zombies that were floating, and they just happened to come up underneath the floating zombie. It was... the way it is written, it is so descriptive. It is so... I'm one of those people who can picture what I'm reading. I can, if it's well written and stuff, I can do a theater of the mind. And I tried to turn that off with this book because it was scaring me. But it was so good. It was scary in a good way. I enjoyed this. Yes, there were some chapters where I was just like, Can I turn this off, please? Because, but no, it was, and Max Brooks wrote so many different people, and every single person, and I'm not calling them characters because they don't feel like characters, they feel like actual people. Everybody is different. No two people are the same. And then here is what I'm going to say, the audiobook also helped with the Theater of the Mind, because whoever, the publishing company, let me bring this up, because Random House Audio got amazing voice actors to vocalize these people. There's, very early in the book, the very first one is Chinese. One of the later ones is Chinese. Are they the same Chinese voice actor? I don't know. But it's definitely a Chinese voice actor, because you can hear the Chinese English, you can hear that accent. And there's two Japanese people. And I can tell that it's probably two different people, because one of them is much younger than the other one. There's a Russian. There's at least one Russian lady. I don't know if there's a male Russian, but it's just every person has their own voice in this, in the audio copy, in the audiobook by Random House. That makes it so much more immersive, because you're not hearing a South African speaking, but the narrator is a someone with a Southern American drawl. No, it's a South African accent. At least to me it does. I'm, again, very ignorant. But it's... yes! Yes! This one is a 10 out of 10. Will I get a copy? No. This is not one that I'm going to go and buy myself a copy, because as much as I'm probably going to listen to this again, maybe going down on the years, that's it. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to listen to it, because that's how I am. That honestly, I cannot see myself being able to read this. This is going to have to be an audiobook from now on, because of just how good and how immersive it was. I might have to give my money to Audible for that one. But yeah, no, 100%. This one is a 10 out of 10. Read this book, or I would more recommend listen to it. And the one that has the full book is the 12-hour long one. So if you get it for 5 hours, you're going to miss many things. No, I am not going to listen to the 5-hour one just to see and hear what's missing, because I don't need to. But yeah, yes, that's another good one for World War Z. Highly recommend. If you want to watch the movie, I haven't watched the movie. I mean, Max Brooks isn't upset about it. He acknowledges that it's a completely different story that just happens to have the same name. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. This is one of those few ones that I say listen to it before. Like, this is. Any way you read the book, ebook, physical, audio, all are valid. This one, though, I highly recommend the audio. Take care. See you later. Bye.